I feel like an idiot, just basically a big idiot, because I basically fell for my own trick from last season. I mean, although I used a real idol, they used a fake idol. First of all, David pulled out fake idol that we all thought he had the real idol, and then, it turned out that Jim made the idol, and it was like a whole chain of events, and then Hannah gets eliminated. If it was David, I would have probably moved on from it, but Hannah going is worse than it seems. Although she only recently joined the alliance, it was beforehand a 5-person alliance. But now we need to try and get Grace and Josh to work together, and they're two very different players. So our chances of forming a 5-person alliance could be quite low. Can I talk to you? Sure, why not? Look, I'm not necessarily saying it's your fault, but I shared a vulnerable situation with you before tribal council last night, and I kind of feel betrayed because I felt like you went behind my back and manipulated me into voting out my own ally, and I just don't know, because I'm paranoid that I'm next. Look, I wanted to take out Nick. That's what we said, right? Yes. However, Jim and David weren't convinced because Hannah had thrown their names under the bus, and they just couldn't work with her anymore. I'm sure I can't go and convince them to keep you around. This is up to you, but I'm just saying I don't think you're the intended target next. Well, I guess that's all I really needed to hear. Last night, I felt conflicted, and I voted out my closest ally in this game because of the idol threat. And should I have done that? Well, it's debatable, because now I'm down an ally, but I talked to Lexi, who is the only person in this game I can fully trust. However, she did spill the beans about what I told her to her allies, which was kind of expected, but I feel a little bit paranoid about what could happen next. So I'm hoping that the only thing I can do is put my trust in Lexi here, and hopefully she can help me get through this difficult period, because I kind of feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment, and it's not a good feeling. First of all, guys, we did it. Well done. Yeah, that's a big move. So what do we do now? Well, we're not out of the woods yet, obviously, because there's still a possibility that that side, or the other 5, could form a 5-person alliance, even if Grace and Josh working together is unlikely. So we need to keep on our toes. And that's basically it. I mean, I suppose we could make it simple for us by getting Jerry, Kelly, Nick, and Grace to potentially vote for Josh. Would that be a simple vote? Yeah, we've got to be careful, but we've also got to understand that Josh could have the idol still. I mean, we don't, that was a fake idol. We don't know who has the real idol, and it could be him. Me, Jim, and Lexi made a pretty big move last tribal, and our plan is, until the dust settles, is to just play it low and take out Josh, because I think that he's still a name floating around there that not many people trust. I'm just conflicted about the idol, because who has it, and what are they planning on doing it? Because if it's Josh, that is potentially the wrong hands for the idol to be in. I need to talk to you about something, yeah? What is it? Well, Grace had a conversation with me this morning, and she's very paranoid because she thinks she could be targeted by us, but she's also very disappointed about the plan and stuff, and I think she's just in a bad mindset. Now, I think I kind of got her to think a bit more straight, you know? Well, that's good. But the good thing about this is that she trusts me, and I have a feeling that we could bring her in to our alliance, so then we have a fourth person. Huh. Well, not a bad idea. I'm totally for working with Grace, because me and David wanted to work with Grace and Hannah, but that didn't work out. So Lexi says that Grace trusts her, which means Grace could potentially join our alliance. I'm all for that. I'm very pleased that I've aligned myself with Lexi, because she is a phenomenal social player. She gets somebody to trust her and then into our alliance, and that suits her, but guess who else it suits? Me, because it's more alliance members. I can just see it right now that the four of us, me, David, Lexi and Grace, could go a long way, and we can continue pulling alliance members left, right and centre, because at the moment everything seems too good to be true, and that's why I told my alliance to keep on their toes, because something could happen. Oh, we need to assess that quickly. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, they did the unthinkable. What? They managed to manipulate me. I mean, bad look, but I'm not against it. We got rid of Hannah. I mean, she wasn't really useful, but cool, I'm down. So, but Jerry, you're right. We do need to assess, and we need to move on. So breaking news in the survival world: Jim, David, and Lexi were able to manipulate Josh. Is Josh failing? No, I love the fact that they did that, because it is a bad look for me, but it gets rid of somebody that I would have wanted to take out later on in the game. So they did some work for me, but yet Jerry is right. We need to assess that. I'm not working with them at all. I'm working with the alliance people I said I would work with, because I don't need to, and it's just easier for me. Really, my game plan from now on is just do the easiest move for me, whether it be, you know, voting out somebody out of nowhere, playing the idol, you know, just voting for the simple vote. I don't need to make rifts right now. I just need to play a game to get to the merge, and then once I get to the merge, then you'll be starting to see some firecrackers. Does anybody have any ideas? Well, it's kind of obvious. We need to kind of get Grace and Josh to work together, which is easier said than done. I mean, guys, I don't know why we don't just quit our losses and work with the other four and just take out Josh. It keeps us out of the line of a sniper from Jim or David or Lexi for another vote. If it's a simple vote, get rid of Josh, nothing needs to happen. We could do that, but then we lose an ally and nothing changes. We're still down compared to them. So if we lose Josh, then we could potentially be 4-3 down. Yeah, but what if there's a swap? You can't play this games on what ifs, Nick. I would much rather take out Josh, even if he is aligned with us, than just frolic around trying to get people to work with us and try and make something big happen. I just want to get through, because I know if I get to the merge, I'll be alright. Because if Madison's there, if Kelly's still there, then I have allies. If Jim's still there, then I have allies. If we put a foot wrong here, and then one of my allies, or even me, goes home, well, that's the end of it, isn't it? You know, you can play strategic, make big moves, but they need to be at the right time, and they need to be smart. Now it's not the right time to make a big move, Jerry. And I probably shouldn't be saying that, because we need to be working together, but I don't think my allies are being really wise here. And they're two very wise players, because they've won the game before, so this kind of is taking me by surprise. Hey Lexi, how are you holding up? Well, I guess that's the best way I can put it. Well, me, Jim and David, we're fine with having you in our alliance if you want, because we know you're down an ally, we know you probably can't fully trust us, but we can trust you, and we're willing to work with you. Well, thank you, Kit Lexi. That does bring me, some kind of comfort in this hour, so thank you. I'll consider it. I really want to work with Grace because I like her. I like her as a player, and I feel like if me and her really get something moving, I think, you know, it could be a strong final two, and I think that could be very powerful, because, well, two girls in the final two in an all-star season would send a message, if you ask me. And I think that would be great, you know, because I see a lot of my characteristics in Grace. She's very nice. Well, yeah, she's nice. She gets along with everybody. That's really it. But, you know, I feel like I can work with that. Me and her could get along together, and I'm glad that she's considering working with us, because it could be one of those things, you know, that a good partnership, a good alliance, and a good alliance goes a long way. I know that, trust me, because I know the difference between a bad ally and a good ally. I know all too well. Hey, Grace. Hey, you free? What do you want? Well, we're offering you a spot in our alliance. Now, Josh is part of it. Yeah, I knew that response would happen, but hear me out. We value, the three of us value, social aspects and trust values over anything. Now, Josh is mainly just a number to us more than an actual ally, because we need a fifth person. But you basically are that fifth person because Josh is already working with us. But we need you to work with us. I mean, I like you three. I guess I'll consider it. So, Grace saying she'll consider it is definitely alright. I mean, people say, oh good, they'll consider it. No, I need a definite answer, and I need it yesterday. Now, Grace, I feel like she'll get, if she gets approached by both alliances, and she'll get torn, kind of like how she felt, well, before last tribal, and that will be bad. However, that's just the player she is, and I need to understand that, and that's something I'm good at. I have the ability to make people feel comfortable from out of nowhere, and I feel like I can do that, and I will be able to do that, because I'll either get voted out, or I'll get Grace to work with us, and I'm not getting voted out. Hey Georgia. Yes Mike? Did you like going to tribal in your season? No, I hated it. Why? Well, I hated it because then I had to think and be smart and make moves and stuff, and I just used too much of my brain. They were all way below me. Gee, I kind of feel the same way. I didn't like going to tribal because it meant I could get voted out. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. When people recognize me on the street from season 2, they always ask me the same questions. Do you watch Survivor seasons? Do you watch any of the Survivor seasons past your one? And I say yes. Who's your favourite player? I always say myself. And they always laugh and they say, but seriously, who's your favourite player? And that's Mike. And that's why I don't want to work with him, because, you know, he is too dangerous. I like him because he's a strategist, and he's a good strategist. And that is not something I want to work with. However, I can still have a conversation with the guy, right? There's no crime there, is there? So, my proposition to Georgia is a dangerous one, because she is a shield to me, and if she works with me, then I lose that shield. However, she's also using me as a shield. That's why she doesn't want to get rid of me. So we're playing very similar games. And that could be either, like I said, very bad, or I see it as an opportunity. And I want to work with Georgia because I have a feeling that if we share our brains, we're almost unstoppable. And I need to be careful about Marjorie, because I don't know it yet, but I trust Marjorie. She's my closest ally. However, I think she lives with a lot of regret about keeping me in New Zealand, around in New Zealand. And I feel like if she didn't do that, well then she'd probably win the game. And I don't think she'd be willing to make the same mistake again. Well, what's that? I don't know. It's like, I think it's a coin. Is it like an idol? No, it's definitely not. Because, I mean, look at it. It's just a plain coin. I kind of found it. Like, I went exploring, looking for an idol. No, I wasn't looking for an idol. But I found this, and I think it's pretty cool. Huh. Hey, do you mind if we have a conversation about strategy? No, I just kind of want to get to know you better, because I have a feeling that we're both strong men, and I have a feeling like you're one of the people I haven't had to talk to, and I just find that weird, because we're both nice guys. Daryl is somebody I have a lot of respect for. I watched season 3, and I very much enjoyed it. I think the merge was very entertaining, but I got to see a character that I could relate with, and that was Daryl. Strong guy, hard-working guy, had to deal with a real piece of work, although he had to only deal with her for a couple episodes, while I had to deal with Louis for 7, and it was just one of those things. And when I knew we were on the same alliance, it's like, I should have a conversation with you, but I haven't gotten around to doing it. And it's a big regret of mine. I should have gotten around to having a conversation with him earlier, and I haven't. But now I have. And it's not really about making alliances, it's more about making a relationship with somebody I can relate with, because I think that's important moving forward. I have 4. Geez, 4 children? Yes. Alright, do you have any children? I just have the 1. I mean, recently became a father, which is basically the only good thing that's happened since season 2. Won't go in depth, because I don't need to. Well, I mean, this is a nice conversation, but I need to go and get some water. But this is good. I like you, Rob. I think that this is I like our relationship, because it could be something that we could escape to when strategy is going way over our head, because let's face it, we're not strategists. No, we're not, because we are brawn over brain. Yeah, every day of the week. So, Rob came up to me and you just want to have a regular conversation. I like that, because go back to season 3. Who did I have a regular conversation with just one random day, and then they became quite possibly my closest ally up till final 5? You have 5 seconds to guess. Grace. Grace became my closest ally from a regular conversation. I'm not saying that Rob will become my closest ally, but he's one person I think I like the most, because, well, you've got someone like, you got people like Mike and Marjorie who I like working with, but they're very big strategists, and, you know, that's not really me. So I like this relationship that I could form with Rob. How do you feel at the moment? I'm not 100% sure, because I am a little worried about Georgia. What is it? Well, I don't think Georgia 100% trusts me, and I have a feeling that things could change very quickly, because you're the only person I've really talked to in the last few days, and I have a feeling that me and you could quickly be on the bottom and be a target. Huh. Interesting. Hold on, what's this? What's what? Oh, you're gonna like this. I think you can guess what this is. No freaking way. You found it? Well, I stumbled upon it, but yes, I found it. This is good, because now I don't feel so worried anymore. So, it's amazing what you can stumble upon in this game. I stumbled upon the idol. Cool. Great. How am I going to use it? Well, as I'm aware, I'm not a target at the moment, but I feel like it could be. So this kind of popped up at the right time. Are we going to share it? Girl, this is an idol between us. Of course we're going to share it. You helped, well, we didn't even find it. We stumbled upon it, but you were there. Got to share the courtesy. I mean, it's mine to use, but if you're in trouble, I will use it on you. Cool, thank you. Jessica stumbling upon the idol could be bad, but also could be very good, because she's probably my closest ally, but, you know, I don't know enough about her to understand what she intends to do with the idol. But she did say she was willing to use it on me if she needed to, so that makes me feel good, I guess. It's an idol we can share between each other, and I know idols because, well, Kelly had an idol and I had an idol nullify, and we pulled off probably season 6's biggest move on Damien, which was pretty sweet. So, guys, I put across a proposition to work with Georgia. Interesting. Why would you do that? Well, me and her had kind of the same strategy of using, you know, each other as shields, and I kind of thought like, well, if I bring her onto our side, we don't really need that shield. Plus, it just leaves Jessica and Madison, I think, in the middle, who I think on the outside, as easy votes as well, without us using our crossfire on each other and trying to sweep those two in the middle and to our side instead of putting them on the bottom. I think was smarter than trying to swing them. And I think that's a smart idea. I'm down. I mean, I've got good connections with Rob. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have a new girl on the alliance. Right now, this season's playing up very similar to season 4, where Mike's going around making these things, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for something to happen, because I know what's going to happen. And at the moment, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting targeted, especially with that awesome victory over Grace in the last challenge. But I'm just waiting, and I then hear that George will be entering our alliance. And that kind of stuns me for a second, because George is smart, and I don't think she'll take this chance, because Why would two winners work with each other unless they were going, well, unless they had a mutual deal? It just doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, it could work, and I'm willing to see how it goes. Are you ready to get to your 4th immunity challenge? Yeah! From Season 4, we have an iteration of one of their challenges. 5 members of each tribe will cross a balance beam until the other side. Once there, the entire tribe will then race to bring back 4 pieces back to 2 puzzle builders, where the 2 puzzle builders will race to complete this puzzle. First tribe to do so will win immunity, safe from the vote. Losers tribal council, where somebody will be the 4th person voted out of this game. Alright, give you guys a moment to strategize. By the way, Saboga, you got 1 extra member, you got to sit somebody out. Who's it gonna be? Okay, for Saboga, we have Jerry, Kelly, Jim, Lexi, and Nick going out to get the pieces, while David and Josh will be building the puzzle. And for Shapira, we have Madison, Georgia, Daryl, Jessica, and Rob going out to get the pieces. Marjorie and Mike will be doing the puzzle. Grace will also be sitting out for Saboga. Alright, survivors ready? Go! Starting us off, we have a race between 2 former winners. Kelly seems to be a long way in front of Georgia at the moment. Kelly is almost done with the beam. Meanwhile, Georgia is taking a while. Kelly is done with the beam. The next person can go. Meanwhile, Georgia is taking a while. Georgia is done with the beam. The next person can go. Meanwhile, Jerry is making his way across the beam. Jerry is almost done with the beam. Madison starting on the beam for Shapira, but they are behind right now. Jerry is almost done with the beam. Madison is about halfway. Jerry is done. The next person can go. Meanwhile, Madison is almost done now. Madison is done. Jim is making his way across the beam now. Jim is making his way across the beam. Meanwhile, Jessica is trying to make up some ground. Jim is almost done. Jessica is also almost done. This is crazy. This is a good comeback. Jim is done. The next person can go. Jessica is almost done. Jessica is done. Meanwhile, Lexi is starting on the beam. Daryl and Lexi making their way across. We're getting closer and closer at the moment. Oh, would you look at that? Daryl and Lexi are basically neck and neck now. Shapira have caught up. Lexi and Daryl are finished, meaning the last members from both tribes can go. Nick and Rob are starting on the beam now. Nick and Rob are already basically over halfway. Nick and Rob are done. Both tribes can move on to maneuvering the puzzles back to their builders. This could be an important phase because both tribes are neck and neck. Both tribes are racing to maneuver their puzzle pieces. Saboga are working well as a tribe. Shapira are also working really well as a tribe. Both tribes are unloading puzzle pieces at the moment. It could come down to the puzzle building. Both tribes unloading their final pieces, which means the puzzle builders can get to duty. Both puzzle builders are working well as a team, it seems. They're going very quick. Come on, Josh, man, these guys are professionals. Both the puzzle builders with complete different strategies. Which one will work? Josh and David are now lifting their figure onto the platform. Meanwhile, Mike and Marjorie need only one more piece. This is neck and neck and very close. Both tribes finishing up their puzzle. Who's going to get it done first? Jeff. Oh, it's neck and neck. But however, Saboga managed to get their call in first, and it is correct. Meaning Saboga win immunity, sending Shapira back to Tribal Council. Congratulations, Saboga tribe, on winning immunity. As for Shapira tribe, Tribal Council tonight with somebody will be the 4th person voted out for this game. Alright, got nothing else for you guys. Grab yourself back to camp. Shapira, I'll see you tonight. It's good to get another immunity win because, well, although we had things go our way last tribal, it was certainly very tense, and I don't really want to go through that again, especially with everything at the moment going on in our tribe. No one really has complete power, and that could be very dangerous if we were to lose, but it's another night off, and I'm going to enjoy it. Going into tonight's tribal, I feel honestly pretty good. I'm hoping that Georgia took up on the deal and hopefully she's willing to work with us, because if she's not, that could be very bad. And then you know, things start to happen and then all of a sudden we don't know which way's up and then someone goes home in a very confusing blindside. However, if she is going to work with us, then things get easy and then we can take out either Jessica or Madison. Look guys, I'm thinking the 5 of us should just work together on this vote and take out either Jessica or Madison. I think it's the easiest move because I think they're the 2 in the middle at the moment, and I have a feeling that, you know, we need to take them out. We should put them from the middle and on the bottom. I think that's the smartest move. I'm down. Sure. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. I like easy votes. And that sounds very, very weird coming from a strategist myself, but easy votes are just so much fun because you go into tribal and you're like, yes, thank God, nothing important has to happen, nothing big has to happen. We can just do a simple vote. There's nothing wrong with that. And it just feels good. I'm fine with working with Mike. I don't think it will be a long-term alliance, but if it gets me through to the merge, then I'm all for that. So who are we doing? Well, that's a good question. Madison, most recent player, like played the most recently, so she kind of, you know, she's not as rusty as all of us. Plus she has good understanding of an idol, and she's pretty smart as well. Well, Jessica, she's a finalist, and you could really, like, looking at season 1, it could have really gone either way. I think she's dangerous if she gets long into the game, so I'm leaning more Jessica. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Okay, well, Jessica. Tonight, I feel that Jessica is the best choice because she is a long-term threat to my game. So therefore, Jessica, I feel like has to go because if she gets deep into the game, then she starts to get her engine moving, and then she starts to make big moves, and all of a sudden that's just bad for everybody here. So I respect Madison as well as a strategist, but Jessica is just a bigger threat. Dude, I don't know how you put up with a person like her. I know she was very annoying. Yeah, if I was in the season with Courtney, I would have got into a cat fight with her. I can see that. I probably would have done the same. No, I know we're going to tribal soon, but I just really don't feel like we are. I kind of feel like we're on a high at the moment. I guess we kind of enjoy each other's company. Can I talk to you? Sure. I'm feeling very paranoid right now because no one's talking to us. And I know that's not the word, not a good feeling, but it's necessarily not a bad feeling either because it would give me a reason to play my idol, and if I play it correctly, well, that's a move on my resume. But I would like to try and figure out what's going on there and see if we can make a different move so I can still hold on to my idol later on. Girl, I'm just a little bit nervous right now. About what? Well, no one's talking to us. I mean, you can be nervous, but I don't think that's a problem. I mean, we've got the idol, and I know. I don't necessarily think it is a bad thing because with the idol, and I'm feeling a bit paranoid, and I'll just play it. But I have a feeling that we can make something happen, and I want your help with it. What do you want to do? I want to try and blindside Daryl tonight. Why him? Well, Daryl, I think, plays all 3 aspects of the game very strong. I mean, he plays strength and social aspects as the strongest aspects, but he's a very underrated strategic player, and I feel like we need to take him out. And I think it's going to be hard because if we are on the bottom, I don't think many people are going to work with us, but we do have the idol as an alternative. Are you looking to play the idol? I don't really want to play the idol tonight because I want to hold on to it, but that's the gamble. I am down for this, really. I think taking out Daryl will be a very good move for me and Jessica because if we are on the bottom, we do have the idol, so if things do go south, we can play the idol, but I really don't think Jessica wants to. And that worries me a bit because if our plan doesn't work, then either me or Jessica is gone if she's right about us being on the bottom. But, you know, I understand the gamble here is that she wants to hold on to the idol and try and make a move on Daryl. And I'm there for it. So what's the plan? So, Daryl, we need to target a couple of people that might not be close to him. So, I think Georgia and maybe Marjorie or Mike or something like that. I think Rob is out of the question because Rob and Daryl, I don't know if they're working together, but I can see them potentially working together because they're 2 very similar players. I see that as well. So we're going to need to flip 2 people and we're in the majority. Yes, that is correct. So I need your help because you need to go up to somebody and convince them to vote Daryl, and I'll go up to another person. Tonight is a perfect opportunity to tap into my strategic prowess. And I can do that tonight by taking out a person I believe is a big threat, and that is Daryl. So, I have an interesting thing to tell you, yeah? Me and Jessica are going to vote for Daryl tonight, and we think you should do it because you're obviously a smart lady, right? I think so. Right, what made you think that? I've watched season 4, and I'm a big fan of your game. Well, thank you. But anyway, enough about that. We're voting Daryl because me and Jessica believe that he is a person who encapsulates the 3 aspects very well. And we think that's dangerous. Interesting theory. I mean, I'll think about it. I would like to take out a big threat tonight because I think that would be pretty cool, pretty sweet. However, you always come into that possibility that if I do it, I'll be pissing off Mike, and then Mike would lose trust with me and then won't want to work with me. However, I have said previously that I don't want to work with Mike for 39 days, and I can't do that because I did that last time and it didn't work out for me. So, is losing Mike's trust and then instead working with Jessica and Madison a good move, or is that a dumb move? That's what I'm thinking about tonight. Hey Georgia. Hey Jessica, what do you want? Well, I've come up with an interesting idea. I want to target Daryl, and I think you should do it with me because I think me and you are 2 very smart girls, if I do say so myself, and I feel like it would be a smart move for you and me to take him out. Why though? Why would it be smart? Well, he encapsulates the 3 aspects of Survivor better than both of us. He might not be as strategic as us, but he's more physical than both of us, and socially he's better than both of us. Yeah, you're right. I'll think about it. Originally, I was down to vote for Jessica because I believed that she was a big threat. A bigger threat than anybody else really on the tribe that I could see. Maybe bigger than Mike even, if I would say that, which I just did. But the reason why I wanted to take out Jessica was because I respect her game. And if I respect her being the best player in Survivor history, if I do say so myself, means that she's a very, very good player. But she told me that Daryl is an even bigger threat because, well, he encapsulates the 3 aspects very well, which he does. There's no hiding the fact that he does, he just does. He's a very good social and physical player. So, now I've got a choice tonight, Daryl or Jessica. If I'm smart, I think that that Jessica and maybe Madison as well have tried to rope in another person. So I think I've got to go and find that person and then talk it out with them because that would be smart. Okay. Oh, hey Georgia, why are you here? Just collecting some water. I want to join in. Yeah, well, I'm surprised that you're here. Do you know what I call this place? What? The think tank. Right? I mean, this is basically the place where people come to think, like 24/7. Basically, you've got a lot on your mind. I don't know if I should be telling you this, but if we're going to work together, yes, I do have a lot to think about. Same, actually. You weren't approached by Jessica or Madison, were you? Yes, I was approached by Madison. She asked me if I wanted to vote for Daryl. I was approached by Jessica, who asked me the same thing. So we're the 2 people they try to rope in. Interesting. So, what do you think about it? I mean, if we're going to have to work together here. I don't know, because at the moment the targets are Jessica and Daryl. If we choose to work with Mike and Rob, then we're taking out Jessica. If we choose to work with Jessica and Madison, then it's Daryl. Both of them have compelling arguments on who we should vote for. Personally, I'm going with Jessica because I value strategy as the main thing, and strategically she is so smart. But they are both big threats to take to the end. I think Daryl is a bigger threat, and I don't use that lightly because if I vote for Daryl, then I lose trust with Mike, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, you talk about long-term game, and I just think working with Daryl long-term is not good. Tonight's decision will come down to what me and Georgia think is best, and we're split on the decision. Now, if we both split on the decision, it kind of just makes sense to do what we said originally, and that's take out Jessica. However, I see a compelling opportunity to take out Daryl tonight. I really do, and I feel like it's a good opportunity. I know it's risky because I would lose probably betrayed trust with Mike, but Mike doesn't dictate my game. No siree, he does not. So I don't care if I lose trust with Mike. I know the risk and I don't mind taking it. But if Georgia doesn't want to, then it doesn't make sense for me to Welcome, Shapiro tribe, to another tribal council. So, Madison, how does it feel to return here? Obviously not a great feeling at all, Jeff. I mean, I guess we're all used to it now though, because we are all-stars, so we've been here before, and now we've been here 3 times this season, so I guess we just get used to it better than other people, and I don't mind it now, really. Mike, do you agree with what Madison said? I kind of do. I mean, me and Georgia, you know, we played our best game here. Like, this is where we played the most. This is where we made all our moves and stuff. So this is kind of like a second home for us all-stars, because we enjoy it here because this is where we thrive. And, you know, if I'm not mistaken, we could see a blindside, although I really hope not. So, Marjorie, what are the chances of seeing a blindside tonight? You know, Jeff? I don't know, because a blindside you won't see coming, so it's hard to predict. So we don't know what we're going to see tonight, but we'll see. We'll hopefully it isn't a blindside. Hopefully things are pretty straightforward. Jessica, do you hope things are straightforward? Would that make it easier for you? Absolutely, Jeff, but Survivor is never a straightforward game, and I'm pretty sure everyone here knows that, so you really got to prepare for the worst, but you also got to prepare for the best, because at times this game will go your way if you make it far enough in, and hopefully tonight things go my way. Daryl, how do you feel? Are you nervous? Yes, Jeff, I think everyone here is nervous. We're nervous for different reasons, but we're nervous because we don't want to go home. There's a lot writing on here. We all want to win $1 million. Some of us want to win $2 million for a second time. And then, you know, some of us just want the bragging rights. I for one want the bragging rights, if you ask me. But yes, I am nervous. Well, with that, it is time to vote. Daryl, you'll start us off. Daryl, unfortunately you play this game too well for your own good. I'm sorry, but this is just what needs to happen. Jessica, I mean, this is kind of Daryl's choice, but you are a big threat, so it just kind of makes sense, you know? I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. No? Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Jessica. Second vote, Daryl. That's 1 vote Jessica, 1 vote Daryl. Third vote, Jessica. That's 2 votes Jessica, 1 vote Daryl. Fourth vote, Daryl. That's 2 votes Daryl, 2 votes Jessica. Fifth vote, Daryl. That's 3 votes Daryl. Sixth vote, Jessica. We are tied again. 3 votes Jessica, 3 votes Daryl, 1 vote left. The 7th and final vote, and the 4th person voted out of Survivor All-Stars, Daryl. What? No way. Jeez. Daryl, that's 4, that's enough for tonight. I'll need you to bring me your torch. Marjorie, you must have flipped. Would you listen to me if I could explain it? Absolutely, I really need some explanation here. Daryl, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Wow. Just wow. Another tribal council down and another blindside and split decision. I can expect many more from you, especially in the coming days. Grab your torches about to camp. Good night. Oh my god, that was incredible. I can already feel it. I think my work friends are gonna be all over me about this.
From coming second in season 3 to being the 4th person voted out is a big difference, and I was teased for coming second in season 3, so I can only imagine that The treatment this time around is going to be slightly worse. But, that's the beauty, and I don't mind it. I don't mind being teased, unless it's from someone like Courtney, then we have a different problem. I will never let that go.
But before, I'm not annoyed. Like, don't think I'm annoyed. This was a lot of fun. Like, second time around, not as impressive as the first time, but still as enjoyable.